Brew, you're great for the Cowboys.
This might surprise some people, but I often poke fun at the Cowboys.
No.
You know, I've said, Coach, that they're the Texas state runner-ups, which they are. It's true, but still, I've kind of made fun of it. I've said they only beat tomato cans. And I've said when they face a tough opponent, they don't muscle up.
Yeah, no, they do muscle up.
No, not against a good opponent.
No, Brew, you said it right.
Yeah,
when they don't.
They do against tomato cans. Yeah. You know, they bully teams. But I'm going to give the Cowboys love today. I'm going to celebrate them. That was impressive. To learn, a couple hours before the game that you're eliminated from the playoffs. And Tampa Bay is fighting for their playoff
Tampa's in trouble now.
Yeah, and we thought, I thought in the playoffs, Tampa Bay could be a dangerous team. Not get out of the NFC, but a dangerous team you don't want to face. And that was, I give them credit with their backup quarterback, Cooper Rush. Shout out Greg Jennings. Cooper Rush actually looked pretty good, one of his favorite quarterbacks. So, Coach, there's no other grade to give him. Is there any other grade to give him than tonight?
Yeah, look, I agree. I think the thing that happens this last part of the season, I've talked about this before, is you can lose your job or you can save your job. And it looks like this game went a long way to saving Mike's job. And it's one of those things where once you're out of the playoffs, you can be just as motivated to ruin someone else's holiday season. You want to be the Grinch. You want to make sure that maybe some other people feel the pain that you're feeling. And this is what the first opportunity. They've got two more great opportunities to spoil sort of the end of the season for people. And I think the one thing you saw yesterday, too, is collectively they were playing hard. We also saw some progress defensively, and that's the thing with Zimmer's defense is it does take more time and reps to get it right. But just bring up like the progress that they've made here over the last month. It's significant in terms of points per game, yards, right on down the line.
Wow.
The amount of sacks they're having, takeaways, and even pre-snap. If you guys watch pre-snap, the amount that they're moving around, disguising, showing multiple fronts, all that stuff takes some work together and communication, but when it hits, it can be really effective. It just doesn't happen early typically.
You're bringing everybody back now?
Well, so that's the problem. There were two truly devastating wins in the NFL yesterday. Number one with a bullet is the Raiders. What an awful win. Just an all-time horrifying win. To go from potentially getting the one, no doubt getting at least the second pick of the draft, to dropping. The Raiders right now pick 6th. So you will have a nice right tackle to play next to Brock Bowers with Aiden O'Connell dropping back.
We're open for business.
That's right. You want to trade with them, that's fine. And the other one was Dallas. I agree with everything Coach is saying. I think it was admirable. I think it does show they're a well-coached team. I think it does show they like Mike McCarthy. I think because of it, they're going to bring everyone back and run it back, and that's not good. I am not saying Mike McCarthy's terrible. I am saying for the Dallas Cowboys to have any chance of actually making a significant change from where they've been the last few years, take this year out of it, they need to change something significant. Owner's staying the same, which means the GM's staying the same. They just re-signed the quarterback. The star players are either under contract or going to be under contract. Sometimes, the only thing you can change is the thing you've got to change because you have to change something. So I am not.
But don't you think, Nick, the volume of injuries that they've had significant injuries to superstars, and if they actually have an offseason where they add some people.
Yeah. Listen, I actually really agree with Nick here. But it's funny because Nick said that they were just going to lose. He said, they're going to lose the next 5 games in a row or whatever. And he said that a couple games ago, and that's obviously hasn't been the case. Now they're actually legitimately winning, and Cooper Rush is actually technically playing better than Dak Prescott did. You can't blame the injuries for this season. I really don't think so. The problem is what was the excuse last year then? And what was the excuse the year before? And the year before? And the year before that? You know, that's kind of the problem. I think it's been very impressive what the Cowboys have been doing. And I had a lot of fun watching this game. I really did. Like, I thought this game was awesome and it was exciting. And it was like some of these weird, like, fumbles and interceptions. I mean, like the one interception and then the one, I mean, I guess it's technically a fumble, but it was really just like, I'm just like ripping it from you. Like, you know, it's cool to watch guys care so much. and play so hard. And that's what the Dallas Cowboys are doing right now. So it's always fun to watch people care and trying their best to ball. And I just think that was what was more fun than anything. But you can't. Would have the Cowboys been legitimately better if they didn't deal with some of the injuries that they dealt with? Absolutely. But do you really think that they're on the level of the Lions, the Eagles, the Bills, the Ravens? I'm just not seeing it. Just not. And then the question is, well, then how do you get there? And does running it back but just being healthier do that? And this is also just a big fundamental problem. I do not think that Dak Prescott is that guy. I think he's a really good quarterback. I think he's a Baker Mayfield level quarterback. That you're paying him like he's better than Patrick Mahomes. He's literally getting more money than Patrick Mahomes. That has been the problem. It just is. I mean, heck, look what Jayden Daniels did against the Eagles. That's a big-time player. I'm picking Jayden Daniels over Dak. I just am. And so then the question is, well, then how do you improve Dak? How do you make that offense more threatening? And the only way you could do that is through either the offensive head coach or offensive coordinator. So do I think if you got like a Ben Johnson, would this team actually take a legitimate, true step forward? Yeah, I do. And that would be your best bet. Do I think you'll just get the same thing again if you bring back Mike McCarthy and his coaching staff? Yeah, I do. I think they'll be a good team. They can win 10, 11, 12 games. Awesome. They'll still lose to the better teams. It's that simple. The only way that they're winning with Dak Prescott and Mike McCarthy as the head coach is if their team somehow gets stacked. Absolutely stacked. Where people are like, this wide receiver 3 would be a wide receiver 1 on most teams. Oh my God, this run game has just been unstoppable. A historic pace. They got Derrick Henry and Saquon Barkley. And you're talking about building the Lions, essentially. Or the 49ers when they were kind of in their prime. And they don't have that. And I don't know where they're going to magically get that in free agency. And you would have to be really lucky with the draft. And even if you get it in the draft, they're going to be too young at that point. It's going to, even if you were able to draft some of those players, especially some of those offensive weapons, it's going to take a season or two to get things going. And then by then, I mean, Dak is now like, flirting with falling off the cliff of his prime. I can't imagine Dak is going to be the guy who's going to be able to play until he's 43. He's been injured a lot with legitimate surgeries. Those add up. They just do. So yeah, I think the Dallas Cowboys will essentially be Dak Prescott. Pretty good. Can play great at times. Can really do some awesome things at times. Ooh. Can also have some really, really bad games and really, really bad moments. And against the really great teams and the great quarterbacks and the great coaches, it's just different. Against the Lions, it's just different. Against the Ravens, it's just different. It just is. And I think that's who the Cowboys will be if they keep running it back in the way that they do. And I get it. It's like making $110,000 a year. That's pretty good. That's great. I mean, 99% of the people out there would love to make that amount of money. But it's kind of like, well, hey, you can risk it. And we can get you up to like $200,000-$300,000. But there's also the chance that it doesn't work out and you slide down to like 60, 75. It's like you can get up to $200,000-$300,000, but you're going to be working on commission now. So if you can step up and you can sell, you're going to get up to $200,000-$300,000. But if you're not, your base salary is only going to be like 65, 75. So do you want to take the commission or not? It's up to you. And that's kind of where the Cowboys are at. And it's a tricky situation, but I don't know, man. I want my teams to feel like that they're actually going all in and making chances to make my team into a true contender. Take some swings. But it doesn't feel like they're going to do that, honestly. It doesn't feel like they're going to do that. And if you just want to blame injuries and whatnot on why the season unfolded, I think you're kind of telling yourself a comforting lie. It's like when you're a little kid and, you have a lot of little kids have fear about something bad happening to their parents. It's a common fear, right? Because they're protector. They're the adult. They're all they know. And it's like, if you tell a kid, like, nothing's ever going to happen to your parents, your mom and dad are always going to be there for you. It's like, that's not true. Actually, at any given moment, your parents could just be done so. And under best circumstances, you're going to have to say goodbye to them one day. The best circumstance is that you're going to have to say goodbye to them. It's just the reality. So if you want to keep telling yourself a comforting lie, that's fine. It might help you sleep at night and give you hope into the future, but it does not help you in the long run. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Dallas Cowboys? Do you think they should run it back? Do you think they should kind of bring back McCarthy and whatnot? Do you think that this season they would have actually been great, but it was just injuries? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.